So as if the way we already live and the way we see things change has now already been interesting, Facebook has now changed their name from Facebook to Metaverse. So if you own Facebook stock as of December 1st, it will no longer be FB, but it will be MVRS for Metaverse. Now with the change, Facebook has given a glimpse into why they have chosen to call themselves Metaverse, or Meta for short. Now in this glimpse, it gives you kind of one of those feels that we've talked about before in this channel, with virtual reality, augmented reality, where it's kind of like the movie Ready Player One, or if you've just seen the movie Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds in it, where it's just kind of like a virtual world. Now what makes that pretty huge, or could be significant, is the fact that when you have those types of things happening, that means anything digital becomes even more valuable. For example, cryptocurrencies can become a lot more valuable, as well as NFTs, because now you could be in a virtual world purchasing NFTs and pictures, arts, and music within your virtual world. Now this is something, one of those things like we see everything, where you see the movies or the cartoons kind of, create this world, which ultimately kind of becomes reality. And that's what Facebook's goal is to kind of create a new version of social media, to where in the video you see they are having a meeting with family and friends, as well as you've seen some of the other things with smart technology trying to evolve, where you can get together with people, you guys can play games, but you guys aren't all there. Now there are some, now it's funny because when we have things that have happened with like COVID, and it seems like COVID is going to be here, and eventually we'll just look at it as like the flu. But when you have things like COVID around, you see people have really kind of gravitated to social distances to a degree. But then instead of having to be in the same room with people, you can actually be in the same room, but you guys are actually at home. Now this plays huge into so many different factors, for meetings, for business, for work, remote work, and things of that sort. So if this thing really takes hold and it becomes more of a thing that exists in our world, then we're going to see a lot of transitions happening in between businesses and the way people do things, maybe even like with church, or maybe even like with birthday parties and family get-togethers and family reunions and things like that. It could potentially have that effect, even though that's a little bit longer of a stretch. Now the downside is that yes, this could affect the way that we communicate socially, as we already see how with this generation or younger generations, how they love to play Fortnite, Minecraft, Roblox, things like that already give you somewhat that kind of feel. But here it's almost like you're really putting yourself within it. Like you see the glasses, you put on the glasses and you put on the headsets, and then you kind of are now within that world. And you'll see that happening more and more as virtual reality is still something that is still building and churning. But this is one of Facebook's goals that they're looking to do. So that's kind of like a whole nother type of level of social media, to where you can get together with people that you haven't seen for years, or for business meetings, and you guys can literally have conversations within a virtual meeting room. Kind of like what some companies have already done, but it's not more so that you're imposed, but it's more so that you're just like kind of like sitting in the computer, and that's your avatar who's on the screen, versus you actually put on the glasses and now you can actually see like you're sitting within the room. But there's not a whole lot of information around, as Facebook just announced this, but this is the new, I guess you could say, step and a push forward that Facebook is going, into. Now, just like the movies you see, if those things were to really come full force, those things can have just as much impact, in reality as it could in the virtual reality. So now, as far as Facebook stock, if this is something they can pull off successfully, then understand their stock is going to skyrocket, because this will be kind of like the very first successful attempt, or very first actual virtual world, to where you can escape, what may be going on in your own life, and really disappear into the virtual world, just like what you see in the movies. So it has its pros and cons with that. Unfortunately, a lot of people may not like that concept, but this is just the way that the world has been going. We're already kind of living in kind of a time where people are already irritated with having Zoom meetings after Zoom meeting and things like that. but this is just kind of the way things have been facing for some time now. But as far as the stock, the company is no longer Facebook. That is the company that houses Facebook, WhatsApp, Oculus, and Instagram, and all their other, businesses. But it's now Metaverse, that will house, Facebook, Instagram, etc., WhatsApp, and all those. So even though there's not a lot of information, what do you think about this change? Is it something you're interested in? Something you're looking to see happening? Something that you don't want to see happening? Let me know in the comments. All right, guys, feel like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.